Now, we're going to move on to our next session of the day. So please welcome Oliver van Wersch, who's a consultant at IAB Tech Lab. In this session, Oliver will share the latest measurement standards and initiatives and everything you need to know with regards to connected TVs. So over to you, Oliver.
Thank you, Ryan. Hello again. So I'm Oliver. I'm actually a partner at Next Statista, and we're a digital strategy consultancy. And amongst others, we are supporting IAB Tech Lab in their market communication and collaboration building in Europe. Today, I'd like to update you on one of the most recent releases of IAB Tech Lab, which is the Open Measurement SDK, which has been expanded to CTV, which is probably relevant information for you guys on the panels and in this conference. I'm trying to give the quickest keynote ever in history. I only have 9 minutes left, and I will be very sketchy in some of the technical details. They are all on the slide deck. You will receive the slide deck, which you will be seeing in the minutes afterwards. So it will be distributed. Practically almost everything that IAB Tech Lab is doing is open source. Everything is also on our website and free to download in our tools portal. If somebody doesn't know IAB Tech Lab, just in one phrase, we're a global standardization organization for the industry. We are run by the industry, 750 plus member companies, approximately 100 based in Europe, and also, of course, a lot of global players who are using the global standardization work we are doing, who are actively contributing not only to OpenRTB, which has been mentioned, also to the development around privacy standards, addressability, accountability. The close collaboration with IAB Europe on TCF is widely known, which IAB Tech Lab is doing. And we are a global organization, also heavily expanding in APAC, for example, where the need for standards is the same as in other regions such as North America or Europe. I will skip some of the more generic content. Why is there the Open Measurement SDK? Why has it been built, and which scope does it have? The Open Measurement Software Development Kit is basically designed to facilitate third-party viewability and ad verification measurement for web video and also native app environments. That's where we came from. We started in 2017 to combat actually the technical fragmentation and limitations of mobile app measurement by means of video delivery. And the approach was, and still is, that there should be one SDK integration for all measurement vendors. This is, of course, a complex development process, and also complex to handle if you regard the various CTV environments and operating systems where we are in. I will talk about that in a minute, but that was the basic idea. We started with mobile apps in 2017. We moved into web video in 2020, where we did a lot of education also in various European markets to reach adoption inside those markets of the combination of OM SDK and VAST4. And we recently, just a couple of weeks ago, we released Open Measurement SDK for CTV with the same idea to give buyers the consistency of signals across screens. So this is the technical idea. There's an API, and the OMID API, and various operating systems have SDKs, which are, of course, a bit specialized for Android versus iOS versus HTML5 video, and now Android TV and tvOS, which just have been added by the Open Measurement SDK for CTV. But one API ensures consistent measurement of viewability, and also other points such as when has the video been started, when did the viewing stop, was there a skip process? So those are typically events which are measured inside the OM SDK environment. There is a native SDK which captures view hierarchy and the app state, because there are more than one, obviously. And related to that is a JavaScript service library, which parses the layer state. And then you have measurement scripts. Those are typically, the measurement events are standardized, but the implementation of the different measurement scripts are done by the vendors, who are close partners to the OM SDK development processes inside the Tech Lab working groups. There is a global adoption. There could be more, but Open Measurement SDK, we also run a certification program, which is attached to that, which ensures the technical compliance and the technical compatibility of measurement processes and adoptions and implementations of OM SDK. Overall, more than 80 companies have been certified in the past few years. And especially to be pointed out, half of them are non-US. And amongst those non-US based companies, a lot come from Europe. So it's already there. We are not talking about like a technology concept. The Open Measurement SDK certification is one of the mostly used certification process which IAB Tech Lab runs, because there's the obvious need for standardization and also for technically verifying them, how measurement processes are working. So you see also a lot of companies who are present and who have been contributing to the standardization process, who are present in this webinar as well. So what are the features of Open Measurement SDK for CTV? Operating system wise, we act on Android, tvOS, Tizen, WebOS, Xbox. That's the scope of the Open Measurement SDK. The difference between mobile and CTV here is obviously that there are even more operating systems, and which leads to more fragmentation technology wise, which has to be bridged in long term. We are not fully done by means of covering all CTV platforms, but this is more complex, and we see it in the mobile world, where we basically have two operating systems. I skip smaller ones on that one, but Android, obviously, and iOS are the dominating operating system on the mobile world. In CTV, there's a more fragmented market, and we have to bridge that. In mobile, you have one screen. In CTV, possibly separate screens. You have sticks which are entered into the TV, and this is the device where the Open Measurement SDK processes actually run, but display is the TV screen. There could be a gaming device which is attached to the TV screen, or computer monitor. So there are separate devices for doing technical processes and viewing. And this also increases complexity, because you have to make sure, for example, that a measurement is done by actually on basis of an ad which has actually been still shown, and not that the screen is turned off and the app still runs on the Fire TV or Android TV stick, or on any other device. Summary of the features we have implemented into Open Measurement SDK: identifying CTV traffic. So we have to know the environment in which a native app is running, actually, to accurately measure the traffic. There is an implementation based on what is the last activity. So this to read out the signal that an event occurred, indicating someone is still watching, what I just mentioned. So if the screen is turned off, you should stop obviously measuring. There is a technical complexity in measuring this. The display connection status is also crucial to that. So we have to understand that the TV display is off, but apps may still be running on the devices. That has to be reflected in the measurement. And the video pod measurement, which also has been part already of OM SDK for web video, means to enable the measurement of video ad pods with gapless playback for JavaScript and HTML session types. Version 1.4, for the people more technically interested, is the one you should look for. This is only the starting process of the development of IAB Tech Lab. If we look into the operating system environments, Apple TV is supported right now, Amazon Fire TV is supported, and Android TV is supported, but there are others to come and others under development, such as Roku, Samsung Tizen, or LG WebOS. Not all of them really have high market share in Europe. Some of them have higher market share in other regions, but obviously we are targeting for bridging all, and in the end, all operating system and environments for OM SDK for CTV. A discussion there, which we have in our working group, is also to extend Open Measurement SDK for web video. So basically use the existing web video technologies for measurement for the remaining operating systems, so that you don't need native SDKs for each of them, but you have a web-based technology like we effectively did for all the video players inside OM SDK for web video. There is a compliance program. I mentioned that we drastically were working on the timing, actually. So we actually have now the timing for retrieving a certification is stripped it down to 3 to 4 weeks, which is significantly faster than Tech Lab has been in the past. We use external auditors. There's a real technical audit, and there is a high validity according to the companies being certified of this certification process, because in the end, it ensures consistent measurement over the different platforms. And there is a compliance guide, there are test cases. So it's really a thorough technical testing process. Finalizing this, the resources, you will get this presentation with a couple of more details in it. Two main resources which are important to you. First, the section of Measurement SDK on the IAB Tech Lab website, which is containing implementation guides, which contains white papers and all the descriptions you might need. Of course, what we do as an organization here supporting Tech Lab in Europe is frequently doing and running webinar sessions with advertisers, with agencies, with local IABs to educate the market. If you want to have one of those, just reach out to me or to any other people inside IAB Tech Lab. And also very important, we are an open source based organization, is the tools portal, the so-called, you see the address, the URL above here, tools.iabtechlab.com. And there you can download the Open Measurement SDK and all implementation guides. Registration is for free, so just sign up and you get all the information in one place. So that's it. I used 11 minutes. I'm sorry. Happy to take your questions.
No worries. Thank you so much, Oliver. Really important presentation and one that's integral to the future of connected TV measurement standards and initiatives. We thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm sure people will reach out to you should they have any more questions and need to take hold of your valuable insights. So thank you very much.